know, her mama Grizzlies are winning. And they're busting through that glass ceiling. And the mama Grizzlies are going to Washington, and they're going to flip your picnic table, Dave.
Tina Fey dusting off her Sarah Palin impression after the GOP's Big Night Tuesday, that electoral earthquake. Just one of the topics on today's Morning Mix. Joining me around the table today, the anchor of Inside Edition, Deborah Norville, and Academy Award-nominated actress Patricia Clarkson, star of the movie Cairo Time. It's out on DVD November 30th. And thanks, both of you, for coming in. So much to talk about this week. You've got to start with this election. It really was an earthquake, and the president had to come out the day after and take his medicine. Let's show a little bit of that.
I'm not recommending for every future president that they take a shellacking like I did last night. You know, I'm sure there are easier ways to learn these lessons.
He was smiling by the end of the press conference, Deborah. He finally came out with that word shellacking, but it took him a while, it seemed, to absorb these results.
It took him a while, and it seems, George, that it's still taking him a while. At that press conference, what was interesting is he expressed concern for the members of Congress who lost their seats because they, I think as you put it, stood up for what they believed in voting for the Obamacare policy and the continuation of the stimulus. But he never associated their vote with his particular program. Subsequent to that, Robert Gibbs came out and said, you know, we would be open to the extension of the Bush tax cut. So I think there's a process that is continuing on even today.
He's going from denial to acceptance.
Well, I mean, I also think he's still has a little something to smile about. He still has the Senate, and what can they really do, to be honest? I mean, even if it gets through the House, it's got to get through the Senate. He still has all the power.
He's got that veto power.
He still has the veto power. I think the party of no is going to be the party of uh-oh, because they're not going to be able to get anything done. They're going to see exactly what he's been up against.
And that is part of the hope, I think, of a lot of Democrats, Deborah, that, you know, now that the Republicans have control of the House, they're going to have to share responsibility.
Well, I think what they're all going to have to do is they're going to have to find a way to be conciliatory towards each other, because clearly the message of this vote on Tuesday was Americans are sick of the status quo and they want to see movement on the issues they care about, which are fundamentally jobs and the economy.
That's exactly right. And, you know, we see now every 2 years the country just says, throw everybody out. Again, it's happened all the time, and they do want to see the parties start to work together. Whether we're going to see that or not, I don't know.
Hope springs eternal.
Yes, we always. But I think they're going to have to. I mean, John Boehner's everybody's going to have to come together, and I think he's going to have to spend a little less time in the tanning salon. And
you know, he actually started to do that. He faded over the course of the campaign.
You know, what was that great quote when something?
Well,
when you have make orangeade when you're.
What he said the other night to Diane was it wouldn't be a Slurpee summit, but there may be a nice bottle of Merlot that comes.
Exactly. My guess is you will see President Obama and John Boehner on the golf course before year's end. They want to see that picture. How about Sarah Palin, though?
If for no other reason that we get to continue to see Tina Fey.
Yes.
Let's see how she declared victory the other night.
We're going to stand up and we're going to speak out. And it may take some renegades going rogue to get us there. It may take folks shaking it up to get there. We've got to do this together.
A lot of people.
It's her own show.
Her own show.
Finally,
she's got the reality show.
Exactly what she should be doing.
Reality shows.
Yes, it's her show.
Not running for president.
Politics.
No, call me crazy, but I would like my president to be the smartest person in the room. And I don't know that she can ever be that. But, you know, I do think she's a great personality. I think she has a lot to offer in terms of for the Tea Party, for the Republican Party, for television in general. But
and that's the question, what game is she playing here?
You know,
well, I think she's playing the Sarah Palin game, but I think she's found a really ingenious way of allowing that game to include a great segment of Americans who feel like they've been disenfranchised, who feel like no one's been speaking voice to their concerns. And that commercial that you just ran, the last thing she's talked about was we can do it together. Kind of going back to the earlier point, people are tired of the divisiveness. And when Sarah Palin, as polarizing as a character she may be, talks about togetherness, it does resonate.
But but they do have to move. The Republicans have voted against every single thing that President Obama has tried to do, and somebody's got to move. Somebody's got to give, and she's responsible. They're now even coming out against. They were going to maybe go soft on trying to reform Obamacare, and they're already up in arms about it.
I want to jump out of politics before we run out of time here. And there's a story on a mommy blog out of the Midwest, which has just gone absolutely viral. A little boy, 5 years old, wanted to dress up as Daphne from Scooby-Doo, and his mom put the picture up on her website, talked about it a little bit, said that he was a little nervous about it, but then she comes back a couple days later and says what happens when the boy went in and all the other moms in the class kind of got wide-eyed, had a huge reaction. She got angry, did another blog, 20,000 responses already covered, because she says, you guys can just go, quote unquote, suck it.
Yeah.
Let my boy do what he wants to do.
This bothers me. First of all, you blurred the little boy's face. She didn't when she posted the picture on the internet. I question why a mother would have put this out there for all the world to see and to comment on. I know she feels gratified by the 20,000 comments, mostly which have been in support of her. Yeah. But in her original blog post, she says, he had misgivings the very last moment. He thought, maybe do I want to wear that? I said, yeah, go ahead and wear it. If your child expresses misgivings, I think as a parent, you really have to be sensitive to that. I worry that maybe if he'd worn something else, it would have gone differently.
But I've said that it's even a topic in our country today, and it's because of the underlying homophobia that still exists.